They say in ancient Japan, true strength isn't found in how tightly you hold on, but in how gracefully you let go. Yet most of us spend our whole lives clinging to people who've left, to memories that burn, to pain we secretly nurture because we've forgotten who we'd be without it. We say, "I can't let go," but the truth is, we're just afraid of what silence might reveal once we do. Long ago, there lived a samurai, fierce, disciplined, undefeated in battle. But inside him lived a war far deadlier than any he'd fought before. His only son had perished in a fire that he couldn't stop. He blamed the gods, the wind, the rain, everything but time. Every dawn, he swung his sword to numb the pain, and every night, he found himself more broken than before. One night, desperate for peace, he climbed the mountain to seek the old monk of Akagi Temple. He bowed deeply and whispered, "Master, how do I free myself from this pain?" The monk looked at him, smiled, and said only, "When you stop fighting your sorrow, it will stop fighting you." That night, the samurai didn't sleep. He sat beneath the falling cherry blossoms and realized, the harder he tried to control life, the further peace slipped away. This is the story of how a warrior found true freedom, not by winning battles, but by learning to let go. Stay till the end, because this story might just change the way you see happiness and yourself. The monk's words echoed in his mind for days. When you stop fighting your sorrow, it will stop fighting you. At first, the samurai laughed bitterly. Stop fighting my sorrow? What does he know about loss, he thought. He was a man of action, a warrior who believed every wound could be conquered through strength. So he trained harder, faster, longer. Each swing of his sword was a cry he refused to let out. Each scar, a prayer he'd never spoken. But one evening, as he practiced by the river, his reflection caught his eye. For the first time, he saw not a warrior, but a man haunted by ghosts of what he couldn't change. The sword trembled in his hand, and in that trembling, he finally felt how tired he truly was. He fell to his knees, water soaking his armor, and whispered, "I have fought everything except myself." Days turned into weeks. He began visiting the old monk often, not to ask questions, but just to sit in silence. At first, the silence was unbearable, but slowly that silence began to heal him. The monk taught him how to breathe with the wind, how to listen to the sound of rain without judgment, how to watch the cherry blossoms fall, and not mourn their passing, but admire their beauty as they let go. One day, the monk said, "You think letting go means losing, but it means making space for peace, for love, for life." The samurai lowered his head, and for the first time in years, he smiled. He began living differently. He gave up his sword and worked in the temple garden. Each morning, he swept fallen leaves, and with every sweep, he whispered his son's name. Not with pain anymore, but with gratitude. The villagers often came to see him, surprised to find the once feared warrior now tending flowers and pouring tea. When asked why he abandoned his sword, he simply said, "Because I no longer need it to protect what's already at peace." Years passed. The samurai had grown older, his hair silver, his hands wrinkled, but his eyes calm, clear, free. And every spring, when the cherry blossoms fell, he'd sit beneath the tree and whisper, "My son is the wind that passes, and I am the leaf that finally learned to let go." We spend so much of our lives holding on to people, to memories, to versions of ourselves we no longer are. We fight to keep things from changing, not realizing that change is the very rhythm of life. Letting go isn't giving up, it's growing up. It's understanding that peace doesn't come from control, it comes from trust. When you let go of the need to win, you start to see beauty even in your losses. When you stop chasing happiness, you find it quietly sitting beside you, in the smallest, simplest moments. The old samurai once said to a young traveler, "I spent half my life trying to be strong, and the other half learning that strength sometimes means surrender." So, if today you're holding on to something, a regret, a wound, or someone who's already gone, take a deep breath. Look around you, the world keeps moving. And that's a beautiful thing, because every falling leaf, every fading sunset, every goodbye is just life's way of saying, it's okay. You can let go now